Yeah. First of all, I'm excited that we start out with a tribute to the D.O. Double Jizzle.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. So I know it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show, baby.
I love it. You got energy. You'll be sitting up during the show. You'll be, I don't know, pumping your fist. You'll be talking. Let's just get it going. Sunday Night Football. Buffalo Bills, since they last appeared on Sunday Night Football in 2007, the Steelers have been on 38 times. Are you kidding me? Josh Allen, would he get stage fright?
Why you do Buffalo like that?
No, I'm just reporting
Why y'all do Buffalo like that?
Do you think I just make these numbers up out of thin air? No, the Bills, they win. They're in the playoffs. Josh Allen on 4th and 6 going for it, hitting John Brown for a 10-yard gain. I like the call by Sean McDermott. Let's go for it. And then 5 plays later. Josh Allen, you know what he can do? He can run it, Prime.
Yep, that's what he does. I love a quarterback, a big guy like that, young guy, but with the ability to not only throw the ball, but to run the ball as well.
His 9th rushing touchdown this year. Now Pittsburgh gets a little cute. That's Deontay Johnson, the wideout, taking the handoff and coughing it up in the red zone, so it cost Mike Tomlin's crew points. This one kind of a disaster from the onset because, that's James Conner who was handed off to him. He's not used to taking the snap, so the Bills end up recovering it. That's the problem. Third quarter, Steelers still down 7-3. Connor, this is a little bit better. How about the fake he puts on Micah Hyde, Prime?
Wow. Some of the best feet coming out of the backfield in the NFL. This guy has that wiggle. Look at that.
Woo,
sit
nice.
him in the chair, break him off. Yeah.
17-yard gain, then 2 plays later, he comes out of the backfield, catches it. Boy, they've missed him when he's been banged up with that sore shoulder, Prime.
Yeah, he's a big-time player, man. He can make plays out of the backfield, running the football, catching the ball. He's a complete back.
Speaking of making big plays, Tre'Davious White, he's going to be an all-pro corner, ain't he?
Let me tell you something. This guy put his foot in the ground and broke on that thing like no other. Great pursuit by the big fella running them out of bounds to hold him to 3.
Yeah, that's Matt Filer, 6'6", 330 to save the touchdown. As you mentioned, held him to a field goal. Next Bills possession, Josh Allen to John Brown, 40 yards, and Brown has really developed into a nice receiver this season. So the Bills have first down at the Steelers' 30. 5 plays later, it's Allen to Tyler Kroft, who makes just his 4th catch this year, his first touchdown since 2017, and the Bills are up by 7, but the Steelers still have a shot. 3rd and 1, and Duck Hodges, you know what he does well? Finds James Washington down the field, Deion.
Yes, he does. I mean, this bump and run on the outside. You had to slot one-on-one, and he just ran a fade route all day. When you see that, you got to go with that all day, and it was a great play call and a great play made.
They go for it now 4 plays later on 4th and 7. Hodges looking, but it's Jordan Poyer who says, I'll take that. And Sean McDermott's pumped up because the Bills have picked off Hodges now 3 times, and that's a goal! But don't worry, because the Steelers would get another free kick opportunity at some point. Like under 30 to go, Hodges looking for the tying score, but it's Levi Wallace. That is 4 interceptions off of the wounded duck, if you will. And the Bills not only secure the win, they secure a playoff berth for the 2nd time in the last 3 seasons. And they also get double-digit wins in each season for the first time since 1999. So the AFC playoff picture remains unchanged. After Sunday, the Ravens are still the 1 seed, working it all the way down to the Steelers, who are hanging on to that 6th spot. But let's get to Buffalo. I get it. They're facing a 3rd-string quarterback. You can say whatever you want. This is a huge win for a young team led by Josh Allen and an ever-improving defense.
You know, I picked Buffalo today. I picked them for a plethora of reasons. 1, because they've been balling out all year. 2, because they could run the ball successfully. 3, because that defense ranked 2nd in the league is unbelievable. Playing against a 3rd-team offense, come on. You got to go with the Buffalo Bills. And that not taking anything away from them. If they can throw the ball a little bit better, they're 28th in the league passing the football. Just imagine if they could cut that down to 14th to somewhere 10 to 15. These guys would be phenomenal. I cannot wait to see this game a week from now versus the New England Patriots. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that'll happen Saturday right here on NFL Network, by the way. Still, it's going to take a lot for them to win that division because they have to win not only next week at New England, but they have to win their final game as well. And the Patriots then have to lose Week 17 against the Miami Dolphins, so the odds are stacked against them. But let's look ahead. Let's say they're the 5 seed. They could go on the road, whether it's to a Houston or a Tennessee, and win because that defense travels.
Man, that defense travels. They got one of the premier corners in the game. They can get after the passer. If they could just protect the football today, they put the ball on the ground a couple times, running the ball offensively. They don't need to do that, especially we got Frank Gore sitting over there on the sideline, one of the best running backs to ever play the darn game. This team, I love them in so many ways, and I love the way they play for one another. I love the way they compete on each and every down.
Yeah, and Sean McDermott's done a great job up there, taking them to the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 years. Kudos to them. We'll talk more about what this means for the Steelers a little bit later on in the show. As I mentioned, you can see the Bills. It's part of our NFL Network exclusive triple header Saturday. It all gets started with the Texans, who can win the AFC South with a win in Tampa. Then that huge AFC East battle. But on the nightcap, Deion, you, me, and LT, we're going to be together out by the bay. It's the Rams and the Niners. Yeah.
We bringing the band back? We bringing the band back together?
The band is back together. Set the DVR now.
I love it.
Just in case you're a little late to the show. So there you go. Speaking of the Niners, they were involved in the game of the day. Kyle Shanahan and his crew, they clinched playoff berth with a win or a Rams loss in Dallas. We'll pick it up in the fourth quarter, 13-10. Kenyon Barner, you got to hang on to it, especially deep in your own territory. Niners pick it up. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback's like, I'm going to score. No, sit down at the 1. Okay, well, it's close enough. 2 plays later, Jimmy G, after a pumped-up George Kittle's like, we got the ball. Shanahan calls Juszczyk's number, and he gets into the end zone. Niners are up 9 after the extra point is no good. Now, just over a minute to go. Falcons down 5 with the ball. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones, who had an enormous day, Deion.
First of all, you know he's going to get the ball. He's one of the only threats out there for the Falcons at this point, with really being out and injured. So he did what he was supposed to do. That was ball out.
Yeah, on 3rd and 1, he gets the ball inside the 5. 13 snags for 134. Now 8 seconds left, 2nd and goal. Ryan to Austin Hooper. He goes up, he goes down, he catches it. They signal touchdown. Of course, every score is reviewed, so let's grab another look at it. The ball hits the ground, stays good there, but then moves just ever so slightly. So upon further review, the booth overturns the call. So the Falcons still have another chance. And watch what happens on the very next play. Julio is going to get his number called, and watch the hit by Jimmy Ward right at the goal line. Now, keep in mind, Falcons don't have any timeouts left. They say he did not cross the plane. Ward kept him out of the end zone. Time runs out, but once again, we have another booth review. And indeed, the ball is over. It just has to get past a little bit of the white. Yes, Julio, that is indeed a touchdown. Kyle Shanahan can't believe it. Matt Ryan's like, yes, I beat my old OC. As for the Niners, not as fun as last week in New Orleans.
I mean, we don't play at our level, like we played last week or like we played all season. Anybody can get beat on any Sunday, and we definitely have to play better. I don't think we played at any type of intensity that we've been playing all year, and we got to figure out that. I wish I could play right now. So, yeah, that's a sour taste. I'd love to get out of my mouth right now, but we got 24 hours. Flush it, and we'll be back to work.
Roller coaster, obviously a lot of the highest of highs, and then, a real big low there at the end. So, it's tough, but it's football, man.
Seahawks had dreams of making the postseason. They would with a win. And a Rams loss in Dallas. Of course, Seahawks were in Carolina first quarter. Russell Wilson. Look at the touch on this to DK Metcalf, Deion.
Let me tell you something. Russell to DK Metcalf, get accustomed to hearing these two names together for quite some time.
Yeah, and you can tell by the next-gen stats, they like living dangerously. Catch probability, 17% this year. It doesn't matter. We'll connect anyway. Next Seahawks possession, Russell Wilson to Tyler Lockett. Kind of a forgotten guy in this offense over the last month.
Yeah, great play call, great execution of a play. He kind of leaked out third read, and Russell put it on the money.
Hey, you know who we don't talk about enough? Chris Carson. This guy is a bulldozer, Deion.
Yes, he is. And when you could couple that with the way Russell Wilson is playing, you got a balanced offense.
Yeah, 24 for 133 and 2 scores. Christian McCaffrey, congratulations. First Panther player with more than 2,000 yards from scrimmage in a single season. That kid's been awesome. Now, It's a 6-point lead for Seattle. 2.5 to go. 3rd and 11. What's Wilson going to dial up? That'd be Tyler Lockett. 8 snags for 120. That 120 receiving yards, more than his last 4 games combined. First down. And how about heading to the postseason, Russell Wilson and crew? That's exactly what is happening, because you take a look at the playoff picture with the Rams getting blown out down in Dallas. Seattle, not only did they clinch a playoff berth, they move from the 5 seed to the 1 seed as of right now. Green Bay has punched its ticket. So too did San Francisco, although right now they are playing on Wild Card Weekend. So that takes us right now to the Mercedes-Benz road to the playoffs. Now, big picture here, Deion. The San Francisco loss is not huge, because if they win out, which means Saturday at home against the Rams on NFL Network, then the final Sunday up in Seattle, they're going to be division champs. They're going to be the 1 seed. But who do you like more right now in the NFC? Is it the Niners or is it Seattle, and why?
I like the Niners because of their defense is impeccable. Their defense is one of the best in the NFL, and you could travel anywhere with a defense of that sort. They could run the ball successfully. Now, today, they just was one of those days. You don't need to go cry, watch the tape. Don't even watch it. You know what happened. You lost, all right? David beat Goliath. That happens sometime in the NFL. But there's no need to break the glass in case of emergency. These guys can really perform. I don't like Seattle because I don't like them defensively. I like them as a team, but I don't like them to go the distance, meaning to the Super Bowl, because defensively they're not sound. I don't think they're executing. Russell is bailing them out. They have a phenomenal offense, but defensively they're lackluster.
Okay, but you know it's a different animal up there in Seattle. It's a different place to play, right? Some places.
Not really. Not really.
Oh, come on, it's
Not
loud.
really.
How many times do we have a false start up there?
We get hyped up on the fans, the 12. Ain't nobody playing in the NFL care about no 12. Ain't nobody care about no 12. Everybody got a 12. Every team has a 12.
Stop.
We just gave them a darn name.
Oh, Deion.
No, nobody. I have never seen a player walk off the field and say, you know what, man, that darn crowd really made a difference in the outcome of this game. Ain't nobody care about that.
You've never
whatsoever.
You've never played in a play. Well, maybe because, listen, you played offense in your day here and there. Maybe it's an offensive thing, because you have heard the number of times where linemen are so lost out there. Wide receivers, they can't hear anything when they're 10 yards away from the football. You're trying to tell me that it's not a huge advantage?
No, only a home field advantage people had was with the Raiders. You didn't want your family to go there because you were scared they're going to get shanked.
Everybody take a deep breath at home on that one.
I'm sorry, I just told the truth. I apologize. Everybody, if you're an NFL player, you do not want your family members. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be better in Vegas. That's why they're going to Vegas. The Raiders fans are real.
Move on?
The Raiders fans are real.
How about a much
I
safer
love me some
place
Raider fans
down there in Dallas, taking on the Rams? And this is wild from the coin toss. Listen.
It is heads. Dallas has won the toss.
Go defense. We want to kick it. Kicking it that way.
You want to kick?
We defer the second half. Yes.
Okay, you're going to kick.
Yeah.
Well, because Dak didn't originally say that we'll defer. He said we want to kick, we want to play defense. The Rams were going to get the kick in both halves. But the NFL eventually official with an administrative call, so they reversed it. They got the right call, and that's the right call by Jason Witten.
That was a great throw, by the way. Great throw and great catch, by the way.
One hand by Jason Witten, by the way. And then second quarter in a 1-1 game, Tavon Austin. Deion, did we call that a blown coverage?
Yeah, no, the guy fell. The guy that was covering him ran into a long pick route, a deep pick route. Watch those guys run into each other. DB fall, Tavon Austin wide open. Yeah. Dak located him, which was phenomenal. Touchdown.
Yeah, that's a 17-yard separation. Most on any receiving TD this year. Now, later on in the second, the Rams are down 14. Jared Goff picked off. Nice hands by Sean Lee. Just the third takeaway by the Cowboys in the last 6 games and a solid return. The big news here, Goff actually hit his hand on Andrew Whitworth's helmet. He did not miss a snap throughout the rest of the game, but it was bothering him. He was icing it between series, and he was even trying to look at the plays with his left hand, and that's really tough. If you do that on your phone, it's a real problem. Zeke, they got back to using Zeke, Deion. That was big.
Well, they always try to use Zeke. The game predicates that.
Yeah. So Jerry's like, thumbs up, thumbs up.
It's not like they don't want to use Zeke. That was a great game, man.
Yeah. So now you look at the
Great game,
standings.
Cowboys.
The NFC East, it's Dallas at Philly next Sunday. Dallas wins that one. They are postseason bound, and they're going to be feeling so good.
Just what the doctor ordered to get you out of the whatever you're in. And I must say, I guess I'm going to have to get me a new corn flip collar out there. But no, seriously, really proud because that does renew the team's confidence in its work. And we have all the respect in the world for the Rams. You know we do. Almost this time last year, they taught us a lesson in the running game, and we know they're well coached and a good team. So this one was richly deserved and came along at a good time for us.
All right, so Dallas ends up scoring a season-high 44 points. They finally beat a winning team for the first time in 7 tries this year. All is well. You're buying them again, right?
I'm not going to say I'm buying them. This is the worst division in football. Therefore, they have a solid chance to win the division. Why? Because first and foremost, the offense is phenomenal. We can sit here and say what we want, but this is the number 2 ranked offense in the NFL, number 1 in yardage per game. I mean, Dak is just Dak is balling. We don't give him credit. Dak is balling. Everybody say, why don't you just turn around and hand the ball to Zeke? Well, the game has to dictate that. When you see 8 men in the box, you got to throw the football. That's why Dak has been so prominent in throwing the football yardage-wise this season. But the game today, it predicated that you turn around and give Zeke the football, and that's what they did. And it paid dividends today. Defensively, guess what? They came up with some plays. They made some plays defensively, and to me, that was the difference of this game.
No question. I want you to look into your crystal ball. Do you have a crystal ball in your room right now? Anywhere hanging out?
No crystal ball.
No. All right, let's say the playoffs stay exactly the way they are, seedings-wise. Dallas would host San Francisco on that first weekend. Would Dallas have any chance against the Niners?
Yeah, you always have a chance. If you're in the NFL, you got a chance. You got a shot.
Okay,
See, some teams match up. Some teams match up good against the other team. I'm not buying the Cowboys and letting you think they're back on top. They're ready for the world. No, but they got a shot. Atlanta had a darn shot today, and they took it, and they won.
See? The eternal optimist, the Hall of Famer, primetime Deion Sanders. Next week, as I mentioned, Dallas is at Philly. Carson Wentz and the Eagles were in the nation's capital on Sunday, taking on Dwayne Haskins. Fourth quarter, Adrian Peterson getting better. They've been better. They're playing harder. Curtis Martin, he passed you for 5th all-time in rushing yards, and Sweetness just tied him for 4th most rushing touchdowns in NFL history. All right, 10 minutes to go.
Wow.
Eagles ensuing drive, 3rd and goal. Wentz to Zach Ertz. Wide open. Can't do that.
I think he's unguardable.
Yeah.
We have some great tight ends in the NFL right now. We really do.
No question. Let's hit the fast forward button. Eagles down 3. That's Dallas Goedert. So in the highlight before, we saw a tight end from Dallas make a one-handed catch. Now we see a tight end named Dallas with a one-handed catch. That's pretty good. 5 for 55 on his day. 5 plays later with under 40 to go, it's Wentz looking for the best story of the day. Greg Ward cut 6 times by the Eagles, a former quarterback at Houston, and he's catching game-winning touchdowns. Pretty darn special for that. That's an awesome story. Now, Washington still trying to stay in this one. 6 seconds left, down 4. Watch what doing. I got to give the kid some credit. He tried to make something happen, but that's Nigel Bradham, who went to Florida State, Deion. Yeah, he's in.
Yes.
The Eagles get a 10-point win. We'll see you take on Dallas next week. All right, coming up, final call for Eli. Wait till you see and hear the celebration in Jersey. How should we remember? Catch that. Gronk, one of 5 tight ends that is named to the NFL 100 all-time team, just like my man Deion Sanders. I think sometimes his personality overshadows exactly how great he was. Do you agree with that?
No. We know he was great. Anybody who ever touched that grass knows that Gronk was the guy. Yeah. He was a dog, a difference maker.
Yeah, impossible matchup, and that guy could block. And we saw him do that last year in their postseason run, all the way to yet another Super Bowl. This Friday, we named the 10 wide receivers that are on the NFL 100 all-time list. It's not going to be an easy cut down. Tune in Friday night at 8 o'clock.
And you know that's the most sensitive group there is, so it's going to be interesting.
That is the truth right there. Let's get to Gronk's old team. Lost 3 of 5.
So it needs to improve.
We're on to Cincinnati. Yeah, remember that in 2014? Kind of similar numbers to their previous 4 games to 2019. Of course, in 2014, they went on a run, won the Super Bowl. This offense still not right. Didn't look great today, Deion.
Now, it started off, Tom was a little shaky early on, overthrowing some guys. They just don't have the timing that they need to have at this point of the season.
And 34 drop passes, according to PFF. Chris Collinsworth, shout out for you. Third quarter, 13-10. Brady looking for his rookie, N'Keal Harry. He could be a difference maker, Deion. I like his size.
Yep, I like his size. We just need his consistency.
Yep. Brady's 538th touchdown pass, by the way, one behind Peyton Manning for the most ever. And then how about the year Stephon Gilmore's having, 21?
Let me tell you something, man. This guy is playing at a whole nother level than any other defensive back in the game right now.
He's got 2 pick sixes. He hasn't allowed a touchdown. So he's scored 2 and hadn't given up any. That's Defensive Player of the Year material. How about a former Bengal getting in on the act for the Patriots? Rex Burkhead, 34s, carrying it 33 yards. New England, playoff bound for the 11th straight year. That, of course, is an NFL record. They are currently the 2 seed in the standings. And they could wrap up the AFC East Saturday at home against the Buffalo Bills, a game you can see only one place, right here on NFL Network. It is the meat of our Saturday sandwich, if you will. It gets started in Tampa Bay and ends out in San Francisco. Kickoff coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Oh, Deion loved playing in the snow, didn't you?
You could have left me home. I was no good for you today.
Stop. Patrick Mahomes didn't mind it. Neither did Tyreek Hill. It looks fun, Deion.
I was born in Florida and I live in Texas. What'd that tell you?
21st touchdown of at least 40 yards since 2016. That's 11 more than the next closest player, by the way. Travis Kelce, 11 yards shy of 1,000 for the season. This guy grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. He doesn't mind playing in the snow, and he's a baller.
This is one of those great tight ends that we have in our game. These guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, 11 for 142. First tight end in NFL history with 4 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Then it's Mahomes. Cherry on top of the Sunday to Tyreek Hill again. Chiefs are up on the Broncos by 20 after converting on a 2-point play. See, somebody's enjoying this. So, you know what? I'm going to take in the snow. You and me, we're going to go on a nice vacation in like 3 weeks. No?
No, we ain't either.
Okay, we're not, apparently. All right, cancel the trip, guys. Can I get my money back on those non-refundable tickets? Drew Lock gets picked off by Juan Thornhill. Chiefs end up winning this one by 20. So there you go. All right, let's move on to warmer weather. This is better for Deion out in L.A. Vikings paying a visit.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Phillip Rivers, he's had the turnover bug all year. And right before half, watch what happens. Daniil Hunter comes in and strips it. And Ifedi Odenigbo is going to pick it up, and Big Fella's going to run. This cannot. The Chargers keep creating new ways to cough it up, Deion.
Did you see that lineman just squat down and just fold up like a lawn chair?
That was a good one. That's Russell.
Oh my
Okung.
God!
Yeah, he's a good lineman too.
What is he doing?
The third quarter, this is no good for the Vikings at all. Dalvin Cook, he's been bothered by that bad shoulder since that Monday nighter in Seattle. He is lost for the rest of the game here in the third quarter after that shot by Denzel Perryman.
Praying for you, man. Florida State.
One of his replacements, Mike Boone. You say who? He ran for his first 2 career scores for the second-year man from Cincinnati. I don't care who's back there. The Vikings can run the ball. They win it by 29. What about the Packers and the Bears? 200th all-time meeting. They're the first NFL rivalry to accomplish that. Aaron Rodgers loves playing against the Bears. He's 17-5 as a starter. And it was only, 11 degrees at kickoff. That's chilly for the Packers, who are looking to clinch a playoff berth with a win. Rodgers going for it on 4th and 4. You like that call to Davante Adams?
Love it. Love it. Davante Adams is a matchup nightmare.
Third quarter, Packers only up 7-3. Aaron Jones, they cannot forget about this guy because he is talented.
He's a dog, man. He makes it seems like every game we give him the opportunity, he makes plays.
Yeah, that was his 13th rushing touchdown, now his 14th rushing touchdown. Packers were up 21-3, but give credit to the Bears. They did not quit. Now down by 15, Trubisky finds Anthony Miller, who had 9 snags for 118. Now, this is kind of a wild finish here. There's 1 tick left. The Bears are down 8. Trubisky from the 35 to Tariq Cohen. That's fine. Now get it back to your quarterback, because maybe there's a new rule where he can throw it downfield again. There's not. He has to give it a lateral, and he does. To Jesper Horsted, who used to play at Princeton. He's a smart guy. Lateral it! No! Don't throw it forward.
Just pitch it. Pitch it.
Yeah, Allen Robinson.
They had it, man.
Yeah. That Nagy and the Bears. That's a rough go. So the Packers, they clinch a playoff berth. They're currently the 2 seed right now. So as you can see, 4 of the 6 spots have been reserved, although we don't know the order yet. So you've got Green Bay, Seattle, New Orleans, San Francisco. Out of those 4 teams, Deion, it feels like to me that Green Bay is a distant 4th. Am I off base? Am I being unfair to the Packers?
No. You're right on point. And the thing about the Packers, they're winning, and I love it. But I don't know how. I love the fans. I love the history. I love me some Aaron Rodgers. But what are they good at? They don't run the ball great. They don't throw the ball great, although they got one of the most prolific passers in the history of our game. They don't defend the pass well. They don't defend the run well. I don't know one thing that they do great, but they have the record that speaks for itself. But out of all the teams that's there, I dislike them the most.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know what I think it is?
Because of that, I just can't see one thing that they do well.
I think here's what it is. I think that fans look at Aaron Rodgers and they say, okay, future Hall of Famer, easy. He can win them a game if he needs to in January. I think that's what it is. It's right?
No, I don't think it's that. The team. I mean, forget the fans. I'm talking about the team. I can't think of one. They have backs. They could throw the ball. Devontae. I mean, they have everything you want, but it's not one particular thing that I can hang my hat on and say, well, they're going to do that well.
Okay, you're right. But right now they're
the
2 seed. Right now they're the 2 seed. Now they do have road games the rest of the way, and it starts at Minnesota next week. But they only have to win 1 of 2 to end up clinching the NFC North. So we'll keep our eye on that. All right, let's move down to the AFC South. Texans and Titans meeting twice in the last 3 weeks to determine who will win this division. Scoreless in the second. Biggest play maybe of the entire day around the NFL. Justin Reed with the huge hit on Anthony Fursker. Whitney Merciless picks it off. And by the way, don't sleep on Jonnu Smith, who ran about 110 yards to track him down. That was like Benjamin Watson getting Champ Bailey back in the day.
When he got him.
Yeah, that was awesome. But it was all for naught because 2 plays later, Deshaun Watson, how pretty's that pass to Kenny Stills?
It was a beautiful thing.
Oh, good. First NFL.
All the receivers are contributing.
Yeah, they're right. That's a good call. 4th quarter, 14-7. Titans are down, but Tannehill to A.J. Brown, another 8 grabs for the rookie for $114. He's playing great football.
Yes, he is. Tannehill's playing great football. You got to lock that man up. Get a man a deal.
And then how about Carlos Hyde? First time in his career he went over 1,000 yards for a season. He gives Houston a 7-point lead. Now the lead for Houston is 10. Tennessee trying to get in it. Tannehill hits Dion Lewis patiently out of the backfield. 5th straight game. Tannehill with multiple touchdown passes. That's nice.
Pay that man.
Yeah.
Pay that man.
But then the Texans defense gets Tannehill and Charles Omenihu. Of course, we will see the Texans try to clinch the AFC South Saturday on NFL Network in Tampa Bay. Now, Tannehill thought he got this last snap off in time with his receivers sprinting back and probably sounding like this. When they got back to the line, they said, no, there's not 1 second left. And Mike Vrabel's like, A, give me that time back, and B, stop making fun of my mustache, please. It's time right now for us to go prime time, presented by Geico.
Mr. Hyde, what's up, boss?
Hey, what's going on, Prime?
What's going on? Big division win, man. You guys edged it out.
Hitting over 1,000 yards today. Feel good about that, too. It's been a long time coming.
Deshaun is rolling, and he rolls. You got D-Hop.
I'm happy I'm on a good team. Things going good. Hey, I'm just grateful right now, man.
You really got my attention with the house call, man. 64-yard pick six, man.
You know, it's just a great feeling. You know how it is when you break on it.
And you're like, I hope he throw it. And, you know, you just got to catch it. And when you see green grass, that's the plays you dream of growing up as a kid. You know, housing a great quarterback and, you know, getting into the end zone. That's what it's all about.
You make an OG proud, man. I'm proud of you. The best number 21 in Cowboy history, you got the call. Take me through the game.
Like we were talking about just how, you know, me and the Cooper just got to take over and just go win this game.
Hey, man, get Drake the ball. Man, get the man the ball. Just give you the darn ball a little bit more, right?
Man, let me tell you, I got the end zone. I let my boy DJ Humphrey spike the ball. I would celebrate with them every time because I couldn't get them to get in that end zone without him, without Kyler, you know, having somebody try to account for him. It's easy when, you know, you got a quarterback that's as dynamic as anybody on the field, so it just makes it easy for me.
Sunday night football from the Steel City. Josh Allen and the Bills win, and they're in postseason bound for the second time in the last 3 years. Fourth quarter in a 10-10 game. Allen to Tyler Kroft. Just his fourth catch all year and his first touchdown since 2017 gives Buffalo a 7-point lead. Later on in the fourth, like way later, like 15 seconds left later, Duck Hodges, quack, quack. Yeah, that was a little wobbly. And picked off by Levi Wallace, one of 4 picks on the day for the Buffalo D. They're off to the playoffs.
Just grateful, you know, just grateful to be a part of it. And again, just grateful to be a part of the group of guys and gals that are behind me in that locker room. They work extremely hard. And coming to Buffalo 3 years ago now, 2.5 years ago, whatever it's been, you know, a lot of people said, you know, why are you going there? You're not going to be able to get it turned around. We got it turned around, and with a lot of work yet to do. We haven't arrived. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm just humbled by it, honestly.
I'm not getting into that, guys. We just lost a football game. I'm not going to make an announcement every week or every time I stand in front of you guys in terms of who's playing quarterback or any other position for that matter.
Mike, what in your mind led to the turnovers?
Quality execution by those guys, not only schematically but just the play. They got a really good defense. We knew that, and they confirmed it.
Can I just tell you, I love Mike Tomlin. He is hilarious.
I love him too, man.
I mean, when you get a question like that.
He's a coach's coach.
Yeah.
He's a coach's coach. Like, you can't help but sit down and write down the nuggets that he spit. And just, he feels the game, man. He loves the game, and that's why I love him.
But I love it. The question, are you going to start Duck Hodges? Because let's remember, the reason he benched Mason Rudolph was because he said, I need a quarterback that won't kill us. Well, tonight, Hodges kind of killed him with 4 picks. So although he doesn't want to answer the question tonight, how would you answer it moving forward with 2 road games on the schedule coming up?
2 road games on the schedule. You got to play the guy that gives you the best chance to win, and you got to simplify things. When you got young guys and you get behind like that, and you're playing catch-up football, that's what's going to come out because they're trying to make a play. Unless you narrow it down to one side of the field and just give them one side of the field to work with and high-low them all the way down the field. But other than that, man, it's tough with a young guy back there at the helm.
So Mike Tomlin isn't going to give me an answer. Deion Sanders will, unless you're going to give me Mike Tomlin bug eyes like this. Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph. Next week against the Jets. Who are you starting?
I'm not in practice. That happens. I need to see them practice, man. I got to see them practice, man. That's what we do. I'm a coach. I got to see you practice. I got to give my team the best possible situation to win. Then I got to take the temperature of my team to make sure they're behind this guy.
All right, well, I would send you to practice in Pittsburgh, but it might snow this week. And we know what happens to Deion Sanders in the snow. I can't do that.
I ain't going.
No.
I ain't going.
All right. But you know where you are going? To the Bay, because you'll be with me and LT as we close out our Saturday network.
It's not easy.
It gets started in Tampa Bay, where the Texans have a chance to clinch the AFC South with a win. The Bills and Patriots, 2 playoff teams, will meet in the middle of the day, and then the Rams and Niners at night. Should be a whole lot of fun. Dolphins and Giants. Eli Manning, probably his last start as a Giant in that stadium. Thanks for the memories.
We said that, yeah.
Well, it's probably going to happen. It was an up-and-down day for him. Golden Tate with the pretty spin, not once but twice. And I don't know what he was doing on the back end, trying to taunt people, but he got in anyway. Eli, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks on the day, almost 300 yards passing. And Saquon Barkley, remember him? Remember him, Deion?
Yep.
Yeah. Without a rushing touchdown since week 7. He got 2 of them on this day and 24 carries.
That's what Eli does when he comes back. When Eli comes back, this kind of stuff happens.
This guy's gotten many game balls. Yeah. But let's give him one more. Eli Manning. I appreciate it. This is a special win, man. They're all special. So, you know, all of them are tough. Doesn't matter what the feeling is, what the season's going. There's not a better feeling than a win in the locker room on a Sunday, boys. So I appreciate this one. It's special. And let's keep it rolling, all right? I'll see y'all Wednesday.
I love that he called it. We'll see you Wednesday. That's a leader right there. 117 and 117 is a starter for Eli. What's his legacy, Prime, up there?
He's achieved some incredible things. 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. He's a pillar of consistency. My son plays quarterback, and I teach him about Eli and the Mannings. He had the opportunity to meet Peyton this past offseason. These guys are consistent with who they are. Right. I don't care win or loss, you're going to get the same person. You're going to get a polite, kind, considerate guy who puts his team first, and that's what the Mannings always do. And I love me some Eli. I had an opportunity to shoot a couple commercials with him. We kind of bonded, and I love who he is away from the game. But only thing I've seen of Eli is a pillar of consistency with no matter what.
Yeah,
and I love him for that.
Well said, Deion. Well said. It'll be interesting to see if he wants to keep playing in a different uniform if it ends up going down that road, because we all know that Daniel Jones is the future up there. First time since 1950, Heisman-winning quarterbacks from the same school are facing off against each other. Mayfield, Murray. First quarter, Arizona's got the lead. Brown's trying to strike back. Mayfield, he's had problems with this too much. Picked off in the red zone by Patrick Peterson. It's another 21, by the way, in case you're paying attention. Yeah.
21 reasons.
Second quarter, Murray to Dan Arnold. Gets those tippy toes in. Murray threw for 275.
This was a great catch, man.
Yeah,
this was really a great catch.
And a really good throw, too. But Murray, you know what he did best on this day? Handed off to Kenyon Drake. Yeah, he balled. He got the call. 22 for 137. First Cardinal to score 4 touchdowns in a game since Ronald Moore. 1993. Cards take care of the Browns by 2 scores. Last game for the Raiders in Oakland. Yeah, tough day for the fans and a bunch of former Raiders there, including C. Wood, lighting the Al Davis torch. Jags, though, down 3, under a minute to go. Gardner Minshew on 3rd and goal to Chris Conley. He does get in, breaks the plane of the goal. So the Jags take the lead, much to the chagrin of that man. Derek Carr would get one final shot. And he actually throws a pretty good Hail Mary. It is not answered. And next stop, Las Vegas, but it was nice touching moments between the fans and the players there. Once a Raider, always a Raider. No question about it. Well done, Oakland.
NFL Network.
Off to Motown, Bucks paying a visit. Mike Evans done for the year with a bad hammy. Jameis Winston playing with fracture in his throwing thumb, but that didn't stop him. Threw for 456 last week and had it working with Rashad Perryman today, Deion.
Let me tell you something. Jameis Winston has turned it on.
Yeah, 221 yards.
That offense is, second-ranked offense in the NFL. They are doing it.
Yeah, that 221 was in the first quarter, most by a QB since Peyton Manning 15 years ago. Then he hits Scotty Miller, first quarterback ever with back-to-back games of at least 450 yards. Oh, come on, Lions. It's all right. It's all right. Bucks back to 500. And guess what? They got a big one this Saturday right here on NFL Network. They're going to try and prevent the Texans from clinching the AFC South in Tampa. Then the middle game, Bills, Patriots, both playoff bound. Nightcap will be out there by the Bay, Deion, with LT, Rams, Niners. All get started 10:30 Eastern with game day kickoff Saturday morning. All right, let's break down each game. You know what? If I'm Houston, I'm afraid of Tampa right now. Do you agree?
Yeah. I agree. Jameis Winston is on fire right now, like you just alluded to. 450 yards back-to-back in back-to-back games. And this is with Mike Evans being out as well, his best receiver. These guys has the second-ranked offense in the NFL, and they can get up and down the field. If I was Houston, I would proceed with caution.
All right, middle game, you got Buffalo at New England. Even though it's a long shot to win the division, how big a game is this for Buffalo, just mentally?
Mentally, it's a great game, but they don't care about the mental part of it. They want the physical part of it. They want to beat this nemesis in their division. They want to dominate this team, and right now, they're very vulnerable in New England. Buffalo is nothing to sneeze at. I would run the ball and try to run the ball effectively because you're not going to really have too much success throwing the ball against New England.
All right, 10 seconds left. Niners, Rams, what do you want to see out of San Francisco Saturday night?
Well, San Francisco would not lose 2 games back-to-back. I promise you that.
Okay. All right. I got you. Well, Deion, I'll see you out there. I'll make sure that it does not snow.